Hey, you guys, you're going to want to listen all the way through to this episode for the exact moment where it all comes back to Kelly. The greatest aha moment of this show is coming up.
And Oprah Winfrey's not even here. But we also find out the phobia that Adam has to a particular fashion material, which is kind
Ugh.
of level strange.
Yeah, and we'll also learn how not making your own bed, could give you an award. So
Ooh.
listen to the show. Enjoy it, everybody.
Well, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, whatever you got going on, we are here for you. That's Kelly. That's Adam. I'm Sharon. Let's get into 90s now.
Let's go.
All right. So here's how it's going to play out. Okay. We
Okay.
have got the murder of Slim Shady, kind of a whodunit. And it's not really that much of a secret. It's Eminem. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. I also think we should talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees because I don't think that we did that last show.
We did not.
And they're fairly significant when it comes to at least one of our favorites from our favorite decade, right? Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. We've got Kelly's trivia to make you mad at all of your high school teachers for not pushing you harder.
To be
Okay. Also, your 90s rewind will put a musical pin in some memories. That'll happen toward the end of the show. And TMZ is reporting that a couple of promoters are they battling it out or just bidding on a possible reunion tour that would be a pretty huge deal. So let's start there.
All right.
No
confirmation. At this point, we're just stirring the pot, but what a great pot to stir. About a possible NSYNC reunion and a tour to come to stadiums, who knows where? We don't know anything. We could just say North America and Europe. Why not broad stroke it? Worldwide stadium tour.
Stadium or arena? It's a stadium tour.
I read stadium, Kel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, again, nothing confirmed. And certainly no timeline aside from the year 2025 being thrown out.
Yeah.
Because it would take a lot of effort to book a stadium tour, period. Not working out the details of dollars and cents, even just booking those stadiums wherever in the world they're planning on going.
Yeah, because Justin, as we speak, has just started his tour. So he's got till I think it's 16th of December. Around that is his last tour date. So then, and that's this is where it all comes, into Justin's corner. Cause will he want to tour again next year after just coming off a tour and his kids and his wife and all that, unless they do a 2-month summer stadium tour, when, the kid, I don't think the kids are in school. They're probably still, maybe the oldest one might be in grade 1 or something, but that comes into play.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And, I think you would have to make it, schedule wise. You could do the East Coast in the summer and then let it bleed a little bit later or earlier for the West Coast where they have nicer weather kind of all the time. But I don't know that I'm down with a stadium tour, to be honest with you.
We don't have a stadium here that would fit.
Mostly because we don't have a stadium.
Well, we do have one, but for some reason.
You know what? It works, serves the purpose when it happens, but the sound is horrible at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Nobody ever leaves the show there and goes, "Wow, that was spectacular sound." Ever. Metallica did 2 shows there last summer and they were sold out, both of them. So thousands, tens of thousands of people saw those 2 shows, and I don't recall one. I mean, I didn't speak to every single person. They were just happy to have those that list of players that were there, and certainly Metallica headlining. But the sound isn't good at the Olympic Stadium. I saw Pink at 2 separate stadiums last year also. Saw her in Toronto and saw her at Fenway. I've seen the Foo Fighters twice at Fenway. And the sound there is pretty good. The sound in Toronto wasn't great, and the vantage point isn't great. So you're there and you're with all these people, but you're not, it's not every seat is great.
When you went to Toronto, was the roof of the stadium opened or was it closed? Because
It
Fenway
was,
Park would be opened.
yeah, because they don't have a roof.
Yeah.
You know what? I totally don't remember.
I feel like it changes a lot in terms of sound quality.
Sure.
Yeah, because it would have a bounce back factor. And in
Yeah.
some cases, you want it to bounce back. If it has an opening, then it bounces, it just keeps going and bounces in weird places. So then there's that echo. I just think that for the seating, we went the extra mile for Pink at Fenway and spent the money like that was our treat, you know? But it's pretty much wrecked it for any other concert now because you can't afford to spend that kind of money for every single show. And again, not every single seat is great.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but
Not a fan of stadium shows. Like I think it's almost like an ego trip for an artist to know that they can sell it out and get it done.
yeah,
Which is great, good for them. But I just think, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't want to be at the back of the stadium, 250 rows up, like
no,
seeing a dot, and even the big screen is kind of the dot. Like, I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, and then if you're off to the side, you're not getting the full benefit of the video screens that are there to, to um help, for the people that aren't right up there. So,
Yeah.
yet at the same time, I get it. Bang for the buck, more people at once. Because my thing would be like, why don't you do two shows at a smaller venue? You'll sell as many tickets, but then they have to do twice the work. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we are a ways away from that happening. It's just pretty exciting to think that they do it, like and I was looking at some old pictures today and I thought, if this concert happens or this tour happens, it'll give Chris Kirkpatrick some time to grow those dreadlocks back.
Yeah. Your reunion.
Those weren't good.
That's what we had going on.
So I'm being facetious, CK. Don't do it.
Yeah. I don't
Don't do it.
I don't think he has the hair capacity.
Well, you just have to grow it a bit and then you lock them in, right?
Yeah, I
You-
don't know, but I think he has does he have a balding issue now? Like, I think maybe
Maybe.
Adam could look for us. I don't want
I'm looking it up.
to say it like
Please verify with our experts, the internet.
yeah, exactly. But he's a cutie though, and I think Chris is like a big fan of his own group, like meaning like he loves being with the
Yeah.
boys. They all do. It's just again like Backstreet Boys never really had a breakout artist. I mean, Nick did well, AJ to a degree, but like nobody has been a Justin Timberlake, and so
No.
that's why NSYNC is always reliant on them.
And that's what's different between those bands also is that um uh you're right, they didn't have a breakout one person, even though I think they tried, and I think that that's the initial uh investment when you have that. You know that there's one or two that are stronger than the rest, and there's some sort of, well, this person can break out later, and that's part of the plan. Like I think they knew that Justin was going to be the strong one.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Even JC, like he has an amazing voice, and he did a few solo things after, but nothing really popped. I think even again, Adam would have to check, but I feel like Lance might have dropped something also.
It's true. And what happens is like with a Justin Timberlake, he's got worldwide grasp, whereas like a JC or whoever popped out of the group scenario, it's more of a regional success. Like it's still like Nick Carter.
Yeah.
He had some success, but in the States.
Yeah. Yeah. Like even Nick is coming here to Montreal in the fall. But like I think he's playing MTELUS, which is nothing to laugh at. Like it's a good size, but that's not like, Madison Square Garden.
Is it 2,000
True.
seats or
I don't even,
something close to that?
know if MTELUS is 2,000.
I'm
It's
not
like
sure about that either.
stat.
It might be though, because that's the Black Crows just played there last
Oh
week.
yeah, I'm seeing 2,300 would be the
Yeah.
capacity of the.
Well, interesting too when you think of bands like Backstreet Boys who had success in Montreal and in Canada before they did in the States. So it was the flip of that. They were, selling out arenas here and trying to get club gigs there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why they always have a huge affinity for Montreal and happy to come here because we help break them.
Yeah.
But it's different for new kids. New kids will always go to Toronto over here.
Don't make me mad at you, new kids.
Have a little chit chat, a sit down, if you will, with Donnie Wahlberg and see.
Listen here, Wahlberg.
Yeah. I'll let you open with that, Sharon.
Yeah. Take a seat, Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2025. We're planning on being excited and taking any bits of excess from the rumor mill and stirring them into the pot and coming up with some great stories along the way until anything concrete has been announced.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the fun thing is that we've got news on a new album that we won't have to wait too long for coming up just after Kelly's trivia.
Let's do it.
90s now. Trivia.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Let us start with the tough question.
Get it out of the way.
How do you differentiate? They're both tough.
That's exactly. So this is the art and literature card. Which artist recreated their bed and its contents at the London Tate Gallery in 1999, shortlisted for the Turner Prize?
I'm not even sure what you just said.
I was about to say the same thing.
Can you start all over?
I think that what I just said was that this artist recreated a something, which I'll reread, but then I think what they created was then shortlisted for an art prize.
Sharon.
Okay.
Madonna.
Nice try. Maybe it was her son Rocco. It wasn't.
Well, you said bed. Recreated her bed, so I was going with something.
Which artist recreated their bed and its contents at the London Tate Gallery in 1999, comma, shortlisted for the Turner Prize?
How do you recreate a bed and its content? What is the content? Is it the pillows?
Adam, I just read the questions. I do.
Like, is it a painting? Is it an actual thing? Are we looking for a musician?
I just looked at who the answer is. I've never heard of this person in my entire life.
Well, then I give up.
What are you even asking these questions for?
We're trying to, update our education.
Are we?
Yeah. We're trying.
Okay, what's the answer? We'll look it up.
Tracy Emin.
How do you spell
why?
Emin?
So Tracy, C-E-Y at the end, E-M-I-N as a Norman, Emin. Yeah.
E-M-I-N.
Eamon, I don't know who that is.
You should.
Okay.
I should know. You don't even know what you're saying.
So she's a paint artist.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's called My Bed in 1998.
Wow.
It is
Catchy.
an installation, so it is not a painting.
Yeah, Kelly.
I never said it was a painting.
There's a lot of
You implied it.
there's a lot of leftovers and garbage next to the bed. The bed is not made. How do you say, the bed sheets are all over the place.
And this got shortlisted for a prize. Because can you find out, Adam, what is the Turner Prize? Because it sounds prestigious. And if I'm unmade bed is winning a prize, mine will also win. Because
Yeah, I might be in the running.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the Turner Prize is awarded to a British artist. The prize focuses on their recent developments in British art rather than a lifetime's achievement. That doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
So I guess it's just a prize that artists give themselves.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something we can get behind, I think.
Oh, only artists that are under the age of 50 are eligible.
Oh,
Adam, you and I are still eligible, but we're not British.
that's a
Well,
problem.
and we ain't artists.
Also that. But again, if it's just an unmade bed, I could win for that. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Me neither. Question number 2. This sounds more doable. So pop culture question. In the 90s, a flat top was a type of what?
Sharon,
Sharon.
hairstyle.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I'll take kid and play for 400 Kel.
By the way, the answer, as we've discussed on the show before, because the cards try to be fun.
Yeah.
It's a haircut, comma, fat, exclamation mark. And that's what
That with a PH, right?
Is that the
Yeah.
haircut Will Smith had? Did he ever have that kind of
Yeah.
haircut?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yes, he
I think it's
did.
actually doing a bit of a circular thing now and like on the comeback. I think
I like it.
I've seen a few NBA players maybe recently. Yeah.
I don't
Cool.
hate it. Looks kind of nice.
Cool. It was funky. It was very 90s.
Pretty angular.
Yep.
Totally angular.
And then there was the fade, right? It was when they used to shave stuff into their
Yeah.
like
Like
I used
the
that was
3 lines.
yeah, that was like the coolest thing because some people like went like they had their like New York Knicks logo in the back, like
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
It's like pretty intense.
Pretty cool. My nephews, when they were little, would get their little bowl cut and then whatever, the Nike swoosh or the
Nice.
Mizuno,
Oh,
that kind of thing.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm done. Back to
All right then. So I feel validated now that I got one question.
yeah.
I think we
It
should
had
talk.
been a while.
I think we should talk about it more than we do. Anyways, uh, talked about also that there'd be new music coming this summer, and it would be Eminem that would be giving us that new music,
Mhm.
which is exciting since we don't have to wait too long, especially after talking about the possibility of an NSYNC stadium tour only coming our way by 2025. Now, I can honestly say that I'm not 100% clear on the delivery of the information of how Eminem's alter ego, Slim Shady, is dead.
Yeah, there's a trailer.
So, in this trailer, then, are you saying that guys like 50 Cent refer to him as not a friend, but a psychopath?
I guess so. I meant to watch it, but because when I found the story, I was actually on the air and was like, well, I'll have to watch this after, and then after never came. So
After never came.
yeah, yeah. But I'm sure that 50 Cent was probably very sarcastic as he usually is when he's
Okay, so he's playing a role in it because he's actually friends with Eminem, right?
like BFFs, yeah.
Okay, so it's all about the uh the album in 2020, which I guess they're referring to is Music to Be Murdered By. That would be Slim Shady's last appearance. And now that Eminem has clocked in 16 years of sobriety, I guess he's
Yeah.
shaking the shady.
Guess so. But you know what's funny is like they have a Sirius XM channel called Shady whatever. It was like his I think it was Shady 45 was
Hmm.
even branding for him at one point. So it's I don't know. I always find it interesting when because even like to the now quotient of the 90s now, the Weekend is supposed to be getting rid of the Weekend. He's not going to be that alter ego anymore at some point.
Wow.
Has he ever done it for real or
Who
the weekend, Abel?
Yeah, I think either the album he just did or the one that's coming is going to be the Weekend.
Okay.
And then I guess
And you're right, Shade 45 was radio a Sirius XM channel.
yeah, so is it no more then?
Uh it started airing in 2004.
Okay.
I feel like it's still playing.
Yeah, so it's weird. So I don't know why people need to kill their alter ego. Like just like don't mention it again. And then
If there's an expectation of people, if your alter ego is so dominant in your brand, then people are going to want that.
but
So,
I never think of like do you think of like Eminem as Slim Shady? Like to me it's like he just mentions this dude in the songs. Like I never think like oh he's got like I don't think
well,
like
maybe he took on the characteristics, though. Maybe he
maybe.
combined with whatever he was using, let's say, it just made a character that was worse than he intended, and maybe he doesn't want that affiliation anymore. I think of like it's not they're not the first people to have an alter ego and to grow beyond it. I think of David Bowie as the ultimate creator as far as really diving into a character in the place of the music itself. So David Bowie would assume the character, and then next phase of the career would be something else. But it was just the art of it. And now I think that Eminem's done the same thing, but I think it maybe is too heavy for him. Speaking of heavy, reading the article that we all had, the use of was it 70 to 80 Valium a night?
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know
That's a lot.
if they're alive.
I mean, I sound like an idiot by saying that's a lot. It's a no-brainer a lot, but imagine taking 70 to 80 of anything,
Yeah.
even a candy that you like.
If you did that with gummy bears, you'd feel really ill.
Exactly. So he's, imagine, felt so ill with not taking these Valiums that he had to, you're chasing.
Yeah.
You're chasing the feeling, you're chasing the pain kill.
Yeah.
But wow, that's a lot of pills.
A lot.
And your stomach and your liver and all the things that help to process the stuff that you put in your body. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think he part of his recovery, he got really into running.
That's good.
Not sure if he's still doing that, but I believe I read that years back that he was when he was like in the initial stages. Well, I mean, I think once he got through the initial stages of recovery, he then was running on the treadmill, I think, to try to, that was became kind of his new thing to kind of take, kind of like Matthew Perry was super into pickleball.
Right.
So I think that was like their healthy choice.
You become kind of hooked on the adrenaline of that.
Yeah.
The addiction of the workout.
Well, we all need to be addicted to something. Might as well be something healthy.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we don't have to be addicted, but seemingly, I think the quick go-to, the conversational go-to would be caffeine. The number of people that drink coffee have to have their coffee in the beginning of the day or whatever.
And then another one.
I'm naturally
and then
charming
another one
in the morning.
You're naturally charming in the morning.
I don't drink coffee. I'm a natural delight.
Yeah.
So why are we recording this podcast at night?
Hard to say.
Okay.
Testing my delight meter. It's waning. So anyways, Slim Shady's got an album coming out. Well, Slim Shady doesn't. He's dead. Eminem's got an album coming out in the summertime, so we can look forward to that.
Yep.
That's the news there. Now, we talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at the start of this show because we didn't talk about it last show. And the announcement of the class of 2024 to sort of basically solidify like a complete departure of, not departure, I guess it's like a maximizing of, who's promoting this whole thing. So we found out that the class of 2024 was announced on American Idol. And fairly, in my opinion, like not a lot of bells and whistles. It was sort of like a moment in the show. Hey, well, now's the time for the announcement. And here's the announcement. And congratulations to them. On with the show. Like, ugh. So I get it. I get why they did it because the parent company will be streaming the awards, and then they'll prepare that 2-hour package that they put together. So I get it. I get why they did it. Disney Plus will be the one that does that for us, and obviously Disney owns ABC.
Yeah.
Which is where we're going to see the 2-hour version of what will be a 6-hour soiree. But interesting. I think the diehard rock and roll fans are will continue to have a hard time accepting newer genres of music. Sorry, not newer genres, but other genres other than rock and roll purely. They'll always have a hard time. So it's almost like the idea is, well, you got to change the name of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're not going to do that. So the fun part is that Foreigner got in on the list, which is deserving. They are deserving of that. Peter Frampton, easily, he's in the top 3, I think, of best live albums of all time. It's like a signature experience. His Frampton Comes Alive album from 1976. And he was genuinely delighted at the news of getting inducted, to the point where he, in his post, said, somebody pinch me, So I love that. And then when you get to the others, like Oasis didn't make the list this year, so that's kind of fun because they're always grumbling about something, so they can grumble about this. But I think of, we'll talk about Mary J. Blige in a sec because she's on the list and she's, trying to get her head around like, wow, this is happening. And it's quite an honor, to be acknowledged for your career of work. But Cher is also on the class list. And I think it's incredible that the length of her career, how she impacted, I think, the social around the almost like the social media before there's social media. She is in that class of people, I think, that has worked. You know, she had to play the wife of the man, in the 60s, but she was sharp. She was funny. She was witty. It wasn't at a time where she was able to do that. I think the new buzzword for this situation is that these, women finally have their agency. They didn't have that before. They weren't permitted that before. So someone like Cher is with the induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is really getting her due, I think.
Yeah.
Because she's got she could, print the badass stamp, She doesn't take any BS from anybody. She does what she wants to do. When you think of the music that she did, it was, always it either fit, it was challenging at times, challenging norms. And then in the 90s, she is directly associated with a whole new approach to recording music. She was the first success of autotune, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, just because of that, it deserves to be recognized in.
Yeah. But the fact that she had, 30 years of experience prior to that moment in the 90s, I think is also on the list of credit for her, which I think is great.
Well, when you've been around for so long, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yep. Her impact is certainly felt, that's for sure. And that's part of what, there are certain requirements for what gets you considered for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, in that, your first record has to be 25 years prior to your nomination. You have to have at least time, right? But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you think of a worker like Mary J. Blige, who has not only worked in music, but you can see that she's worked on herself within her story and told her story in a way that's been completely relatable to her audience, that she's connected in that way. And she's been acknowledged, which I think is great.
MJB.
Yeah. What's the 411, right?
And she influenced so many other artists in that genre, and she just really owned it, right? So
yeah,
she's like, if you are lovelorn, you need to listen to some MJB.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Any other surprises for you guys, or things that you were happy with about the class list?
I'm happy.
I'm happy if you're happy, okay? I love that Kool and Gang made the list because I'm a lifelong Kool and Gang fan. That's for sure.
Earlier, I think.
A Tribe Called Quest also made the list. Dave Matthews Band, they were, I think, #1 on the fan vote, which is cool. Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist, so that would make his second time.
Well
and
deserved.
Then there's a bunch of artists that also got, like those are the performers, and then there's a bunch that are being acknowledged for other contributions, which is cool. So it'll be another at least 6-hour event. And I watched the whole thing last time.
Is it really 6 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
it's long when I was there for Janet's, but I mean, I was so excited to see, like, obviously Janet, and then like why am I forgetting her name now? Oh my God, Nikki
who?
And actually Duran. Sorry, I was also very excited.
I love that she was stumbling on the last name, and you're like, Nikki who? Get to it.
Is it a musician? What's going on?
The one from, oh my God, why am I forgetting her name? She's good friends with Harry Styles. He's the one that presented her in. I can't believe I'm completely blanking. It's Nikki, the one from the band, the
Appleton?
No, imagine if it was her.
Nicki Minaj.
No, she's an older. Why am I forgetting her name, Sharon? The long blonde hair.
Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx is from Motley Crue. Maybe it's not Nikki, but it's Nikki. Isn't it Nikki? Anyways, it'll come to me.
Is Nikki a singer?
No, she has a last name. I can't believe I'm forgetting this. She's in the group that the other lead singer died recently, like in.
Wow.
who
I
died
can't-
recently.
Solo singer though, Nikki. What the hell? Like this is driving me nuts.
Do you
now.
not have access to the internet right now?
Yeah, but I can't. I'm like,
Oh.
can't do this. Adam's gonna do it.
Well, Adam can look while I throw some names at you, which were basically thrown at us that night. That the
Adam, what's the 2019 class? Because that's when Janet came in.
I'll look it up.
Okay, so how about names like John Mayall, major contributor, Alexis Corner, Big Mama Thornton are all going to be recognized with the Musical Influence Award. Jimmy Buffett, whose career is just fantastic. It goes beyond the hits, which he did have.
Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks.
Oh my God, Nikki. Stevie Nicks, you're right.
Oh,
Stevie,
nice try.
yeah, nice save.
Sorry to interrupt, Sharon, but it came to me.
It happens, right? When it comes, it comes. Okay, so back to Jimmy Buffett, whose career as basically a brand. Um, so he's being also acknowledged for the class of 2024. MC5, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield for musical excellence, which is very good.
Jazzy.
Totally
Yeah.
jazzy.
That time I remember that I forgot, but then I remembered Stevie Nicks, but I was close.
You're like, Nikki.
Yeah. But I did. I'm like, it's not Nikki Six. I'm like, what? Anyways,
You're right. It's not. I should have
wasn't.
got it with the Harry Styles clue.
I can't. And what's the name? Why am I forgetting the name of the band? What is it?
Fleetwood Mac.
There we go. That one.
There you go.
That
Yeah,
is
she got in.
embarrassing, Kelly.
I'm fine with it. I have a lot going on.
But
I've
just
got a
so
lot
you
going on in
know,
my life.
I was looking on the internet for Nikki,
Thank
Hall
you.
of Fame Nikki,
But I was close.
Harry Styles.
I was
I
close.
had the wrong first name.
I know, but I brought it out in the end.
You were set up to fail, Adam.
I was.
As I was saying it, I was like, it's not Nikki, but there's a Nikki in it. And I was close. Stevie Nicks with an S.
You were very close.
Yep.
You need a snack and a nap.
Possibly. But I have to say, Harry, during that, because he presented to her, like, or brought her into the Hall of Fame, he was wearing, if memory serves, a blue
Which is it really going to serve you?
blue velour. He looked very, very nice. Adam should check
Ah.
out the 2019 Harry Styles look at the Rock Hall. Yep. Blue velour.
Blue velour.
I'm not a fan of
Blue-
velour.
No?
You're not? Oh my God. I would, if I could have like 16 velour power suits, I would wear one.
Oh no, it gives me like bad goosebumps.
Really?
Just thinking about it, just thinking about the texture, like a velour couch, I cannot sit on it.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go crazy. Right now,
Wow,
just thinking
interesting.
about it, I
You're
Ugh.
already going crazy. You're getting
Yep.
itchy.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep talking about it then.
no, please don't.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so congratulations to the class of 2024 for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Are you ready for a dose of a 90s rewind?
Yes, we are.
We are going to the heart of our favorite decade, right to it. 1995. You know why? Because this is how we do it. Montel Jordan topping the charts around this time in 1995. How about TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool, the album that just kept on giving? Red Light Special. Really? Super sexy. It was crazy, it was sexy, and it was cool. Counter that with the nice acoustics of another one of Stevie Nicks, I mean. Another one of her friends, Sheryl Crow's Strong Enough.
Nice.
Tupac also making our mixtape back around this time in 95 with Dear Mama. A couple other ones. Let Her Cry from Hootie and the Blowfish. Let her cry. Good, eh?
Are you okay, Sharon?
Barely. And just because we were talking about her, Mary J. Blige and I'm Going Down
Oh, great song.
was happening around this time in 1995. And that is your 90s rewind.
Good job, Sharon.
Thanks kindly.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Big
do you have
Steve.
any business, any admin work you want to share with us, Kel?
Well, if you'd like an audience question.
Please.
all
Can
right.
we handle it?
I don't know. Adam's gonna have
Yeah.
to Google the answer.
That
Okay.
remains to be seen.
So audience question is, which R&B song is your jam from the 90s? Like if you could, there's so many, but like if you have an R&B jam.
Wow. Yeah. Gosh. I feel like maybe just because Mary J. Blige is top of mind. Real Love would be good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But by the
You know
time
what?
you guys guess yours, I'm gonna not guess yours, but say yours. I will also add to my list. So you go.
I'll go with Return of the Mac.
Ooh.
Mark Morrison. It's just so groovy. It's just so I love the instrumental on that song.
Yeah.
He's British. I wonder if he won that Turner Prize.
Mark Morrison. I don't think he did.
And his album Messy Bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I've already found another one I'd like to add to my list.
Go ahead, Sharon.
That Thing, Lauryn Hill.
Do
up that thing. That thing. Love it.
I have to go with Janet.
Of course you do.
Too. And honestly, like this song to this day, like I crank it. I Get Lonely. That's a deep R&B. Feeling Your Love. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yep. And the video was very cool for that. And even hearing Tina Lennon discuss like the choreography and how that had to work with, because they were all, it was the four girls plus Janet, and in the video they had to really work on their tearaway clothing because they were all in like these power suits, and then they had to take off like their shirt and they had bustiers underneath. And she was talking about how especially I think on the tour they were like always petrified every night that they were gonna get it right to get off, because a couple of times I think in practice or rehearsal it had gotten stuck and all that stuff. And so they were always a little, I think, concerned to make sure it would, because it was because it was on beat, right? Like they had to do it on beat and then big reveal. So yeah.
Wowza.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add another one.
Okay.
You can't keep adding.
I can. That's the thing. We can keep adding. How about Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty tight. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. I would also enjoy TLC's Creep.
Yeah. Ooh, nice one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then No Diggity from
No
Black
doubt.
Bag it up now.
Yeah.
No Diggity's great. On that album, Don't Leave, I also love.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so classic. It sounds classic 90s, but it also sounds classic early 80s in my heart, which I love. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, thanks for the question. That was great.
Thank you.
Mama like. In this case, I am Mama.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Cecily for the question.
Thank you, Cecily. Thanks for listening to us and then asking us a question and then listening to the answer.
Yeah. See how that works. It's great.
Yeah. We appreciate you finding us wherever it is that you do that. Thank you for taking us along for your ride, your walk, your long distance journey. Thank you very much for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.